Today we're discussing the 22-250, its history and performance, its effectiveness on game, its comparison to the 223 Remington, and its military use. Hi, I'm Ben, this is Benny. Let's get into it. General information. The 22-250 is an ultra-high velocity, bottleneck, short-action 22 caliber rifle cartridge, primarily used for small to medium game hunting. History. Back in the 1930s, Grosvener Watkyns, a ballistician working at Winchester, was working on a high-velocity 22 Varminter cartridge. This led to Watkyns necking down the 250-3000 Savage cartridge to accept a 224 caliber projectile. Winchester rejected his design. Instead, Winchester decided to neck down the 6mm Lee Navy case, which would become the 220 Swift. After having his design rejected, Watkyns took his 250-3000 Wildcat and began working with gunsmith Jerry Gebby, who had been experimenting with other high-velocity 22s. This led to Gebby copyrighting the design as the 22 Varminter. The 22 Varminter gained popularity because of its high performance, accuracy, and excellent case life. But because the name Varminter had been copyrighted, gunsmiths wanting to build rifles for this hot new 22 simply called it the 22-250. In 1963, Browning did something unheard of and started chambering rifles in this Wildcat cartridge, even though no commercial ammunition was being manufactured. 2 years later, Remington decided to do the same thing, but they also began manufacturing ammunition for it, calling it the 22-250 Remington, even though Remington had absolutely nothing to do with its development. The 22-250 became a popular varmint cartridge. You can load 40 gram projectiles and get over 4,000 feet per second, but these projectiles have a relatively low BC and lose velocity fast. The more popular loads are 55 gram projectiles travelling at around 3,700 feet per second, which produces a laser beam-like trajectory out to 250 meters. If you want to shoot heavier projectiles, the 22-250's upper limit is about 62 grain. This is due to 22-250s usually being barreled with slow 1 in 12 and 1 in 14 twist rates, which won't stabilise heavier bullets. But if you barreled a 22-250 with a fast twist, you could load 75 grain projectiles and higher, which I think would be pretty cool. For small game, the 22-250 excels. It shoots fast and flat. It's no surprise that it's so popular for this role. For medium game, the 22-250 can be an effective cartridge with correct projectile choice and good shot placement, and that's probably the realistic limit of the cartridge. Variants. The 22-250 Ackley Improved. It is not surprising that there is an Ackley Improved version of the 22-250. By changing the cartridge to Ackley dimensions, you gain almost 10% in extra case capacity. This gives you the ability to match the velocity of the 220 Swift. Military use. In the 1980s, British and Australian SAS purchased Tikka M55s chambered in 22-250 for use in urban counter-terrorism missions. They chose the high-velocity 22-250 because they wanted to reduce excessive penetration and eliminate the dangers of a ricochet. Comparison of the 22-250 and the 223 Remington. Do I want a 22-250 or do I want a 223? Here is a brief summary. The 22-250 is faster than the 223 by about 300 to 500 feet per second with equivalent bullet weights. But this comes at a cost, and the cost is shorter barrel life. And the 22-250's ammo is usually more expensive than 223 ammo. And for most people, the 223 is simply the more practical choice. But if you need the speed, the 22-250 is a really good option. So what do I think of the 22-250? I kinda like it. The 22-250 is an efficient, well-designed cartridge. It's a little overbought for my liking, but a lot of people seem to have a lot of luck with it.